Today I am for the first time not in the forest while recording these videos, and it's not easy. Every time I see somebody, my guard goes up and I go quiet. I don't want to talk anymore, and it's fairly hard to open up. This is like my third or fourth attempt already, and it's an interesting experience. It's like in the forest I got the silence, and that's why I'm actually choosing the forest as a place to record, because I know the chances of encountering people there are small. And now, yeah, the chances are a little bigger. Oh, but anyway, life is just weird, man. Like, I know people who are getting divorced right as we speak, and I also know people who are planning their wedding right now. Well, maybe not in this exact moment, but in this period. And it just feels so weird. It really gave me this feeling of life is just this game we don't really understand. And we're trying to play it, but we don't really know how. And yesterday, while I was walking this exact path I'm walking right now, maybe that's also a reason why I chose it to record, I just felt so empty. You know, this void that sometimes just comes out of nowhere and swallows you whole. It's just something we humans, I think, get to live with. And it was just, every time it happens, it's somewhat overwhelming, and I'm afraid to stay in that feeling. And when I start feeling it, I just wanna bottle it all up and push it down, not let it come up and face it. So yesterday I tried like allowing it to be, like just try to face it a little. And while I was feeling it, like I was on the edge of an abyss, I kind of asked myself, what do I have? Like in that exact moment. People, like what do I have? And I realized we all, well, I don't know, I'll just be talking about me. I have so much from the smallest things. Like, I'm able to breathe. I'm able to move. And only these things already are so big. They're so big that we get to make our days. We get to meet people. There's so many people. I just passed like 6 people. Whew. Okay. So I was in that moment and I realized I have so many things I'm just taking for granted the entire time. And it starts with the simplest things, like just breathing, just being alive. Because I kid you not, I thought at some point I had an experience, I thought I was gonna die because I was suffocating. And I thought that was it. Like, I was 100% certain my time had come. And I know in that moment, just life just gave me this really big slap in the face. And I just realized that, oh my God, I just want one more breath. Just give me one more breath. And that feeling was so overwhelming. And I don't want to forget that. I don't want to forget how grateful I am for every breath. And it just starts with the breath, but there is so much more. Like my legs, they were hurting like so many times. I fell like so many times. I did martial arts quite a lot, and I'm really bad when it comes to avoiding injuries. So I was injured quite a lot. And there was a time when I was barely able to walk, because it's a little bit of a funny story, but I just fought against a girl just for fun in a training session, and she kicked me in the knee, and my knee just cut in a very bad way, and that took around 3-4 years to heal. So yeah, anyway, there are really a lot of things I can be grateful for, and there are so many things just taking for granted. Like even now, probably like a million things I'm taking for granted. And I just feel that taking things for granted is the best way to have a sad life. Because what's the option, you know? Either you appreciate what you have, or you will feel like you never have enough. And that's just terrifying. I don't want to do that. So yeah, I'm just working on gratefulness, just trying to figure it out. And I always thought that gratefulness is just this switch you switch on and off, and just have to switch it on and everything's gonna be fine. And it's not like that. It's a little bit like that, but it's a process. Like at first I thought, okay, what can I be grateful for? And the first things that came to my mind was, of course, the things that you have. But then you can be grateful also for things you don't have. And that's just, whew. And yeah, just imagine, like, I'm so grateful right now that I'm not ill, for example. That I can, I don't know, take a walk outside and feel fine. And then, well, it's even crazier. Being grateful for situations where you feel like something or someone has wronged you. And this is actually part of the Buddhist mental training. So in Buddhism, there are like this couple of verses about mental training, where you kind of train your mind to be in this special mind state where you, we're just open to learning it. Just don't create bad karma, I guess, or whatever. And what they're saying right there is that, like, the people who hurt us and the people who make us feel miserable are like our biggest, are like these precious gems, because they're teaching us, they're showing us where we don't want to be, in a way. I'm not explaining it well, honestly. It's way more than that. It's just, the idea is that you can be grateful for bad things. And this is not straightforward at all. This is actually very mind-boggling, because I tend to blame things when things go wrong, okay? Something happens, I like to point out, you're the reason, or I am the reason, or stuff like that. Or I don't know, this is the reason, the government is the reason, I don't know. You know, the usual blaming things. But this goes in a completely different way. you can actually, well, I don't know. Yeah, you can. You can be grateful for bad things. It's still a mystery for me. Like this concept, I get it a little. I think I get it a little bit more than just a tiny bit, but it's just so much there. Just imagine for a second that you can be grateful for bad things happening to you. That would change everything. Like that would make us, that would make everyone like invincible. Just imagine you walking on the street, somebody comes up, just slaps you across the face, and you stay there for a second, and they're like, "Ah, thank you, man. I learned something from this. I learned to be grateful because I'm able to, I don't know, take this slap right now." And that's maybe also what kind of Jesus said with the when, I don't know if he said it, but it's like something you hear a lot. When somebody slaps you, just turn the other cheek. And that's misunderstood, or at least I misunderstood that for a long time. But right now I think it's kind of coming together. Because, in this way it makes sense. Just being grateful for but this is the difficult part. What are you actually grateful for? And of course, this example with somebody slapping your face. Well, I guess you can be grateful that you survived the slap. This is a rather stupid example, honestly. So let's just switch a little bit to a more everyday example. Like, well, nothing's coming to my mind right now. Of course, must be something. Like I had this example just a few seconds ago. There it is. This is the best example because it's the most recent one. So I had made an appointment for like this how is it called? It's where you make something out of, dude, I forgot the word. Like it's this yellow earth that you like mold into a vase or into a cup. Well, that it has a word. And I just made an appointment for a class like that because I wanted to get some friends to try them, to do it with them anyway. Pottery, it's called pottery, that's it. So that's basically the idea. I was talking to this pottery class tutor or whatever, and he just pointed out the date, and I told the date to my other friends, and then last second the guy told me, or the girl, whatever, that the date doesn't work anymore for the pottery class. And then I had to like tell my friends that, oh shit, it doesn't work, we have to change the date. But the thing is, my friends only could at that one date. So I was looking at the chat with this pottery class, and I was feeling kind of furious, because they, in a way, they kind of betrayed me. That's what I felt, because we just talked about a certain date, and just because, I don't know, they had like, it wasn't enough money for them or something like that, they just wouldn't do it, even though they said it was okay. So I felt betrayed. Because I also had to tell my friends that, look, I'm sorry, but the class is cancelled, even though they kind of like prepared the day for the pottery already and stuff like that. So also put me in a kind of bad position. But anyway, the main idea is that I felt this little bit of betrayal and fury regarding the pottery course, okay? And in that moment, I realized that I have a choice. I can be like, okay, they're a shitty pottery class maybe, or be grateful that they showed me that I react with fury to being betrayed. I have no idea what the moral of the story is, honestly. I have no idea. But what happened basically was that I somehow managed to be grateful for them for canceling the class. Now when I think about it, it's even when I say it, it sounds absurd. But in a way, in a weird way, it worked. And I was not mad anymore. I was not furious anymore. The feeling just away. I felt actually great. I felt thankful for them. Well, for a moment. Now when I think about it, I maybe feel, I feel fine. Actually, I feel good. So it's a wonder. I have no idea. Basically, what I did, I was grateful for them showing me my feelings about that, and then whoop, the feelings just went away. I have no idea. I'm still figuring it out. I'm just sharing this because it somehow worked. No idea what worked or how it worked or what kind of witchcraft this is, but I don't even know if this makes sense, like the way I explained it. I hope it does at least a little, so anyway, thanks for listening. Have a great evening.